this is Stephen, the Community Manager at Gioteck, and joining us today is Brandon Rawlings from the Clan Section 18 in the UK. And Brandon, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Stephen.
Tell everyone quickly about Section 18.
Section 18 is basically a new and up-and-coming UK clan, and we're starting to get really into competitive now, and watch this space.
And where can they follow your tweets?
They can find us at Section 18, or if you Google and go on Facebook, Section 18 COD, you can find us on there.
Excellent. So what are we looking at? We're looking at a sniping walkthrough in Black Ops 2, and it's on the Standoff map. That's right?
Yeah, that's right. And the class setup, I'm using the Ballista with laser, and I believe it's FMJ.
Which stands for?
Full metal jacket. So basically, if I shoot through a wall, it will do additional damage to the player.
Excellent. Well, let's literally walk through this video as we see things. Tell us about this position.
Basically, it's a lovely position as you spawn. If you're playing Domination, if you spawn on the seaside and you run through this building that I'm about to now, and you hop on those boxes, you get a lovely line of sight over the wall, and you can aim just under the tank and hit a nice shot through the dino.
Cool. And where have we moved to now?
We've moved to the upstairs of that room as a knife plant. And that gives you a great vantage point to see those boxes there, actually, and across the other landing. You can see right in that window. And if you move a bit to the left, you can see towards the corner of the balcony. I'm sure it will be coming up soon. And it gives you great access against other players.
Are there any weaknesses being in these positions?
There are, because a lot of people go up there, and you can... But if you keep crouched rather than standing up, then that hides your visibility a bit, and it makes you a bit harder to see.
And now we've moved to another part of the map?
We've moved to the part of the map which is just middle house, but most people let's call it wood. And I was top wood just then, aiming down sights, looking across where people spawn from A, and that's another weakness because everyone will look for that player in that window. So you just got to be a bit careful when you're up there, especially when you stand on the balcony bit here because your body is fully exposed. And it's not the greatest point, but if you see someone, you can quickly just hop up here and pick someone off.
I understand. So with sniping, are you a quick scoper or do you take your time?
I'd like to think so, but basically it just depends on what situation's right. So for example, if you're in a...
That was pretty fast. That was pretty fast just then.
It was, yeah. But if you're in a situation where you have time, I'd recommend taking it, because if you go for a quick scope and everyone uses a sniper that's not silenced because it will do more damage over range, you'll give your position away on the mini-map. And so if you've got time, definitely take it. But as you get more confident with a sniper, you can take quick shots like that.
I can see. And whilst you're waiting to find the shot, you're actually quite active. You're moving all the time, so no one can lock onto you.
Yeah, definitely. That's called a strafe. And basically, strafes are quite hard to counter because people will just be looking for a standing still target when people are typically sniping. But if you're strafing and you're moving about, so literally if you just move left and right or backwards and forwards whilst you're zooming in and shooting, and that makes you a lot harder to shoot than if you're just standing still.
What about the whole jumping around technique that some people like to employ all the time? Are you a fan of that?
Typically, I'm not such a fan of that. It's a brilliant spot. I'll come back to this in a minute, but if you can just see through the little crack, you can get a really nice line of sight through that window. Unfortunately, I'm not the greatest sniper, but...
Yeah, no, but it's a great angle, and actually, through your death, it demonstrates that, yeah, you have to be careful as well.
Yeah, definitely. So like here again, you can... I think I'm about to jump up in the tank to have a look. So, again, with the tank, you can be very stealthy because you've got the 360-degree vision where you can go all the way around the tank to see from different angles, but also at the same time you're heavily exposed. But going back to what we said earlier about the whole jump shots, it can be a very effective strategy, but I would not try it if you're not confident with a sniper because you'll be focusing more on jumping rather than shooting.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. That's a good shot.
Yeah. It is. I
So,
haven't watched this gameplay for a while. Yeah, it's not bad.
would you say you're more of a sniper or more of an assault rifle guy?
It depends on what scenario you're in. So if I'm doing competitive, I definitely wouldn't use a sniper. Although if we're winning sort of by a lot of points, I'd generally pull it out. Just it's a fun gun to use, to be honest. It's not really. You can try and see if you can hit people, but in quick scopes, that's generally more impressive. But I'm more of an assault rifle kind of guy. I like to get lots of kills, and rather than the odd one or two wonder shots.
Yeah. So, with this map, are there any cool sniping locations that are not that common that you think you've come across, if you know what I mean? Things that Brandon special tips, if you know.
A definite random special tip would be I don't know if I actually get on it in this gameplay, but if you look down the left-hand side of the map, there is a tractor, and you can jump on the tractor, and in the left-hand corner, there's a little tiny clothesline that you can hop on, and you're very hard to see, and you can see, that's a very good shot, you can see throughout the entire back courtyard bit there, where people typically like to camp and set up with like machine guns and target finders and head glitch in that spot. That's a very useful way, because they can't see you, but you can see all of them.
I see. And is there a certain part of the map that you really should keep away from, whether it be the middle or the periphery? Every map always has its sort of funnel point. What's the area you recommend in this map to stay away from?
If you are sniping, do not go in the middle of the map, because you're asking for trouble. Unless you're going to head glitch and you're confident with a sniper and you can quickscope people over long range really fast. I generally stick to the outskirts of the map or in buildings, because that way you can get generally longer lines of sight on people. And mid-map's good if your team has control of the game. And you say domination, you have 2 flags captured, you can push up a little bit because you know people won't be in that general area because your team's locked that flag down. But if not, then I'd definitely stick to the outskirts with the longer lines of sight rather than... That's another thing. If you're rushing with a sniper in a building, it's going to be asking for trouble because there's just going to be other people there. But if you can look at a window, or like if you can find people who are using the sniper, it's generally going to be a fair fight.
I understand. So this is a not much visited corner of the map, but you're very exposed in it.
This part is, yes. It's where you first spawn in, and people often like to sit back there, especially in competitive modes like capture the flag or search and destroy, when they often like, people like to lie down and pretend that they're dead, and they can just look like down sight and watch you. So if you stay away from open areas of the map, then you're more likely to do well with the sniper than if you were using an assault rifle.
For sure. And are there any conservatories in this map that you can hide in?
I don't believe there are. There are certainly buildings that you can hide in, but conservatories, I think that'd be a great addition to Call of Duty. Like if you could shoot all the glass that would come caving in on you. But no,
I think
not yet. No conservatories, I'm afraid.
Someone needs to suggest that. Well, Brandon, thank you for joining us in this video and showing us some of your sniping action. And we look forward to having some more advice from you on some future videos. But got to say, for someone who says you're not too bad, or not too good, I should say, at sniping, you're getting some pretty good quick scopes in there, just like there.
I think it was just a lucky, to be honest. But if you use these spots, you're more likely to get more kills and stay more hidden. And yeah, if you implement them in your game, say you take one spot from this gameplay and you implement it, leave it down below in the comments. Love to hear it.
Cool. Thanks for joining us. Speak to you soon.
Thank you for having me. Goodbye.
Bye.